Howdy, howdy, howdy. Merry Christmas. Hope everybody had a great day. We had a pretty good day. Shed some tears this morning, thanks to me mother, but they're happy tears. But still, crying is one thing that I really don't like. I don't know why. I just have never liked it. And it is still freezing cold outside, and everything is solid ice, and it's all Wayne's fault.
My fault? What is it my fault? I didn't do anything.
Yes, it's all your fault. Oh, I just get in rain and blah, blah, blah. Oh, nothing over here.
I got the cold weather now. I'm not saying nothing anymore. I'm doing nothing.
Yeah, could I send it to you in a handbasket?
No, the other one I read the almanac.
It wasn't just the almanac, it was also the weather people, too.
The weather is your thing. That's what it is. You like the cold. I don't.
So you liking my background?
Yep. I don't like the cold. I hate it. I'd rather have 60-degree weather.
Wayne, I would rather have 95-degree weather so I could be in the pool every single day for the rest of my life.
Wow.
So I shriveled up.
Hey, Joy Stewart.
Hey, Joy. Hey, cool gamer. Merry Christmas. Hope everybody had a great day.
Mm.
No, so I had Bear in for a little while in my mom's. Then I put him in his crate because that's awesome, Joy. I'm glad. Um, just to give myself a break because I hold him in his carrier
Yeah.
that I strapped to me. And hang on a second. This one.
Oh, okay. So you have any idea what made him sick?
No, I don't know. He probably just had an upset tummy.
Mm. Oh no, here comes Remy now. Oh boy. Here they go now. Maybe you're too overexcited with the cold weather too. Probably something to do with the cold could have done it too, right? You think?
No, I don't think it was the cold. I don't know. Like I said, he could just have an upset stomach.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow's going to be a long day for him because we'll be at my grandmother's. We're leaving here at 10:30 in the morning.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then, of course, my mom wants to see him play with Peanut, which is my Graham's dog.
Oh.
And I'm like, Mom, if he gets overexcited, he's going to pee on Graham's floor. And then I'd feel horrid.
Huh. Hmm. Hmm.
So, I mean, he hasn't gotten into anything, so.
Hmm.
But he has this thing where there's this one tree out here that hangs like this, and it's got dried leaves on it.
Yeah.
So he jumps up and grabs the leaves off, and
Oh.
then runs through um, with it in his mouth. And sometimes he gets it like caught, like a cough it up. Merry
Oh.
Christmas, Scott. Merry Christmas, Myra. And then I should have gotten a picture of it, Wayne. It was hilarious. You know when
Hmm.
you walk in the snow and it leaves like a divot in the snow from your foot?
Yep.
Well, he likes sticking his head in there.
Oh.
So earlier he had two little pieces of the pine tree stuck in his lip. They were frozen there.
Oh my gosh.
It looked so funny, like he had this, the curly mustache.
Oh, okay.
Merry Christmas, Miss Rebecca. Hope you and Ronald had a great day.
Merry Christmas, Rebecca.
Hope everybody been staying warm. Even Texas has been cold.
Mm. Everybody's being cold these days.
Well, with this last big storm that was coming through.
Mm.
But we didn't get any of that. Buffalo, Watertown got nailed. They got like 3 to 4 feet of snow. And
Wow.
Buffalo, I don't know what their total was, but they were only supposed to get 1 to 2 feet.
Hmm.
So, what'd you and Dave have for dinner today, Wayne?
We had ham and we had sweet potatoes and stuffing and everything.
My mom made ham, gravy, mashed potatoes, sweet potato casserole, stuffing, tossed salad, and deviled eggs and biscuits. Merry Christmas, Matthew.
Mm. Where'd you get the background screen from?
I downloaded it from uh, copyright free images.
Oh, okay. Welcome, Squirrel. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Mother Hen. Merry Christmas to you, too. Well, yeah.
I'll put it in chat. This is where I get my images from.
We had humidity. Then we get um, humidity, high humidity. Oh yeah, and then we get snow, cold weather. Some people got snow.
Well, next week we're going to have 40s and 50-degree weather.
Uh-huh. Hmm.
But that pixabay.com is where I get the images from because I downloaded some new ones.
Yep.
Like I added this one,
Okay.
this one, this one.
Mhm.
And then on this one, I added this one,
Uh,
this one, that one.
mm. Looks like a drone shot.
Yeah. I thought this one was pretty cool too with the little bunny rabbit.
Yeah.
But I figured I'd use that one.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Well, Matthew's at 19.
Mm.
Then Matthew does the weather and it says an error.
Mm. Mm.
But according to my weather app, it's 17 degrees but feels like 4.
Yeah.
And then starting Wednesday, we're going to be at 35, and then it's going to be high temperatures. And the next accumulation, we're supposed to get to the 7th. 1 to 3 during the day and 1 to 3 at night.
Mm.
Pretty much, Matthew. Speaking of that, I'm going to have to go in and switch my Nightbot for my slap commands.
Mm. Mm.
Hang on, I got to go edit my slap command.
Mm-hmm. My friend, this is David Joshua. Genius friend.
Hey, Teddy, how you doing? That's my friend that I helping with watch hours and stuff.
Mm. Mm.
Cause he's got the channel members just
There's a kitten. There goes.
I don't like the way you have to do it from the computer.
Front chair survival. Merry Christmas. How you doing, front chair survival?
Merry Christmas, Heath. Alright, that should be his channel, I think. Thank you, Teddy. And yeah, I can't believe how much it dropped. But it should be alright. How you been, Heath? Hello to the 11 people that are in here. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas. You're very welcome. I think you sent me all your yawns, Wayne. Are you awake, Wayne?
Yeah, I'm just looking at this chat.
Well, don't look too hard. You look like you have robot eyes with your glasses. Well, hello and Merry Christmas to your beautiful wife. It's funny because the way your the reflection from your screen and your glasses and Crystal's might as well call him her husband. They're getting married August 1st of this coming year. He put in Mortal Kombat, so it's like my favorite video game. So I started playing, and then Crystal and I were taking turns, and John too, and we were playing the story mode. And let me tell you, on very easy, that game is hard. I've beat it on very easy, but it's not easy to do. So then I'll go through. I tried playing on a hard level on setting, for the whatever the heck it's called. I get like one punching on the person on the Mortal Kombat, and I end up dying. That's how hard it is. And then I like watching like the Call of Duty, but I've tried so many times to play that game. I'll get like one or two people, and then I gotta stay hidden, and then I might get a couple more people, but then I have a hard time running with the people. My hands just don't want to cooperate with each other. But yeah, there's Taylor's sticker right there.
Yeah.
And my puny little one right there. I still gotta put them other things up that George made me, but I don't remember what I did with the box. Don't tell the mother. Well, that's the problem, Matthew. I didn't live very long. I literally got like one hit in on the opponent, and that was it. They hit me like once, and it was all over. Did you ever play video games, Wayne?
Yeah, we play only baseball and ours.
Did you have like Atari or Super Nintendo or Sega when you were younger?
We had all those game systems at one time or another.
My one aunt used to work at Coleco. Hello, Rose.
I used to have a Sega Genesis at one time.
Oh yes, and I love playing Sonic the Hedgehog. Thank you for coming in, my friend. But now those type of games, I get motion sickness from them. Because they have a cool Sonic game. But I don't know if I could play it because it has like the loops and stuff, and then some of them are like the cars and the roads like all loops like this. I'd have to take a couple Dramamine to play it because I get nauseous.
These are like the Atari system. We had all the games that in those days, like Patient Raiders and all kinds of games.
Playing Contra. I like playing Contra and Frogger. And what the heck was the one with the little was it called Galaxy? Where you're that little spaceship.
You shoot at it, you know.
Was it Galaxy? Galaxy or something like that. I used to like playing all those things. But we have an Xbox One. Jamie wants the Xbox Series X. But have to wait till the next new one comes out so you can afford that one.
We still have the Super Nintendo and the other one, Super Nintendo and the Nintendo. I can't remember the other one.
Oh, Super Nintendo. I like playing the Diddy Kong, like the newer version of like Donkey Kong, kind of. But my best friend Kimmy and I, we would play those. We'd sit there and we'd literally play all weekend long until we conquered it. And then we'd have to go the next day and buy the next one. And we'd just sit there, and I miss playing those games. They were a lot of fun. Oh, and Matthew said the other one's Asteroids. See, explain to me one thing, Wayne.
What?
You know how, like, Thanksgiving, I don't know what it is, all the turkey or whatever, I'll sit there and I'll literally fall asleep. But then when you do Christmas dinner, I don't sit there and fall asleep. Merry Christmas, Jonesy.
I don't know.
It's got to be something with the turkey.
Maybe it's boring. I don't know.
I don't know. It's probably some sort of chemical they put in it so we fall asleep. I
Yeah.
actually spilled coffee on myself one time. I was sitting at my ex-husband's parents' house and we had just got done with dinner and sitting in the rocking chair, and I had my coffee sitting like this, and I started falling asleep, and then I jumped and spilt hot coffee all over me. Maybe squirrel.
Mm.
And we had bought my son this when he was little. You know the games that you plug into the TV with the audio video cord?
Yep.
And you'd have like the little joystick type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And got him a dirt bike one.
Mm.
So I'd go in and him and I would sit there in his room for hours playing that video game.
Mm.
Then I figured out how to do like the different tricks on it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would do some. And he used to get so excited. And it's so cute, seeing them play and how excited they get when, they beat something or they figure something out.
Right.
I don't
Mm.
know, Matthew. I still think it's a turkey. Because literally, after I get done eating Thanksgiving, I could literally just sleep for days.
Radio Jonesy. Howdy, Radio Jonesy. Huh.
Okay, Jonesy, I know you're somewhere. I don't remember if it's Transylvania or Tasmania or I don't know. I get them confused.
Mm.
It's hard to keep track of all the different countries that people live
Mm.
in. And I don't know why, but I think Tasmanian. Okay, Tasmania. I think the Tasmanian devils are like the cutest little things. I don't know why. I mean, they probably wouldn't be snuggly, I don't think. They'd probably want to eat your face off, but they're super cute.
How big are they?
I don't know.
Are they football size or what?
No, I think they're bigger than that. Um, they can get 2.1 feet long for the male. That's from head and body.
Mm.
And they get like 18 pounds. So yeah, like bear, but
Oh, okay. Like a small dog. Okay. Just curious.
oh, so Tasmanian devils are shy, timid, and not dangerous to people unless attacked or trapped.
Mm.
However, when they do feel threatened, they do strange yawns that look quite fierce. This behavior is actually more a display of fear and anxiety than aggression. So, oh, maybe I could snuggle one, Wayne.
Huh. Your bear will be jealous.
So cute. Hiya, Jonesy.
that. I wasn't organized. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
G'day, Wayne.
How you doing?
Yes, I don't want to tell you this, but it's stinking hot and and sunny and beach weather, mate. I've just been working, but
Hmm.
there we go.
Uh,
There's
mail that to me, would you?
I'd love to. I don't know, that's sunny and yeah. Anyway, I should be down the beach, but I've been just doing a bit of work and
Hmm.
I just thought I'd see, come up and say hi.
Well, I'm
How's your
glad you
day?
did.
How's your day going?
It's going pretty good.
So
Well, a couple more hours, it'll be time to go to bed. I don't
there's the
know.
invisible.
I don't know how many hours you are ahead of me.
It's just gone 2 o'clock in the afternoon. On where are we? Is it Sunday or is it Monday? It's Monday.
Yeah, it's 10 p.m. Sunday here.
Hmm.
So what's that? 14 hours in the
All right.
future.
Now, do you get cold over there?
Oh, we get snow. Yeah, it's summer, but at the moment. But we're Let me just rearrange this. I got the wrong camera on. I've got the wrong chair. I've been doing a music video for a mate whose song got released. It's a bad time of year to release it. He wanted it out. Um, there we go. That's better. Yeah. So it's it gets it snows. We're on the water. Is this too loud? By the way, too, I'm having trouble with the
No,
audio.
I'm trying to-
We're on the water, and it doesn't usually snow sea level. It's usually just behind us. Like where I live goes like this up to
yeah.
mountains. And it snows like 15 minutes up the road.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we get the best of both worlds.
Now, do you have
But
short
not
winters?
today. Um. Oh, not really. No, our winters can be. We're down. We're the closest land. Oh, not. Okay. I think somewhere on South America might be closer to the South Pole than what we are, but there's nothing between the South Pole and us. It's just water all the way to us. So we do get diddly southern winds and yeah, Arctic waters, and so it does get cold. We're right at the bottom of Australia. Yeah,
Right.
Oh,
but
Well, here our winters can start anywhere from the end of October and go into May, or on fluke years, it'll
hmm.
start, later. And then 2012, we had like 90-degree weather in April, which that was a super fluke thing. It's not something that happens here.
right. So you're up the top, aren't you? Up towards Chicago. Is that correct?
I live in upstate New York.
Oh, man, my internet's. Is it my internet going slow?
Yeah,
There
you're
we go.
lagging a little
That's better.
bit.
Yeah, I think everyone's playing with their Christmas presents.
Probably.
But yeah, you're up the top. I'm assuming of America, up Michigan. Um,
I'm actually
am I
northeast
correct, or am I?
US, so I'm more towards Maine.
Okay.
So I'm quite a ways
Funny how you get
more east of Michigan.
Right.
Thank you, DeSillo.
And how you going, both of yous, with the crazy weather that you had? Is that affecting you? It's
Well,
on the news over here.
Buffalo, and that's like 4 hours west of us. So the past two storms that they got, the bad ones, we didn't get anything from, thank God. Now we had gotten snow a little while after the first big one that hit there, and probably got about 16 inches. And then
Right.
they're getting nailed again, and we're not going to see any of that. Next week, we're going to be in the high 40s, 50s, and high 30s, and then it's going to drop way back down again.
Well, it's called weather for a reason, I suppose. It's always changing.
Oh, yeah. It's going to keep changing.
I like the way they used to say it's global warming. We're all going to cook. The world's going. We're all going to bake in the hot sun.
Well, I think I'd rather bake in the hot sun than freeze.
Rather have the hot weather than it's loudly
thanks,
cold.
Squirrel. You dropped. Yeah, well, my daughter lives in Queensland.
Oh, he's lagging again, Tasha.
I know it happens to his internet sometimes.
A couple of days ago. Oh my gosh, why couldn't you rocking like?
Your daughter lives where now, Jonesy?
Queens, he says, right?
Oh, up in Brisbane, which is Queensland, and they get like really hot summers. Every afternoon, there's a major thunderstorm, lightning. It's like clockwork. It comes in around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There's always a big downpour somewhere. Like their Christmas afternoon got washed away with a big thunderstorm in the afternoon. But down here, it's a lot more mild and steady.
Yeah.
So,
I love the heat so long as I can get cooled down. Like if I had a pool, I'd have to have a pool if I'm living somewhere where it's hot. Because I get heat exhaustion really quick and I'll just pass out if I can't cool down.
I hate the humidity. We don't get humidity here. It either gets like hot and then it gets cold. There's none of that stickiness that, I don't know if it's because we're right on the water or what it is, but
now Florida, they get a high humidity, and it rains almost every afternoon there too.
Well, I reckon they're identical to Brisbane in Queensland, Florida. I've been there once. Yeah, it's funny because of I don't know. Is it because of the water and the land, and then the hot air goes to I don't know. It's like clockwork. You could almost make sure if you're at work outdoors, you got to get your work finished before 3 o'clock because the rain's coming. And you look outside and it's blue sky and sunshine, and you say you're crazy, and then all of a sudden the clouds roll in, and yeah.
Yeah, I lived down there for a couple of months. It's about the only state I've been to that you could literally get a suntan in one day without trying.
Well, I'm like you can see like you can see where the sun gets me.
Yeah.
Like I really go out with a shirt on. The skin cancers count down here is terrible. It affects you really bad. You got to really have sun protection. But it's a major occupational hazard here.
Yeah, I can imagine being out and working outside. every single day. Okay.
So what's that behind you? Guitar and what else is behind you?
Yeah, I got a little keyboard. I got a drum kit, a few other things. Let me get the camera. There's electronic drums there.
Oh, okay, cool.
And just a couple of guitar. Like I'm a very bad player at everything. Like I've got friends who are all professional. Like I've played out with a few people, but I'm not a player. I'm just a filler in a. You know, I'm a like I've been in radio all my life, so I've met a lot of great musicians, and when they pop in, it's good to have like a bass, a guitar, and some drums, and we just have a bit of a jam session out the back, and yeah, that's part of my life. I don't show too much of.
Mhm. I own 3 guitars. I play them.
Oh, you like, and what do you play?
I got
Like,
like a electric guitar, amp, acoustic electric, and this acoustic.
And what do you like to play?
I like playing them all, but the electric guitar I like to make more noise with.
Yeah, for
Music
sure.
wise, I mean, music wise.
Oh, your
Yeah,
music wise.
that's
Mostly gospel.
yeah,
Mostly spiritual gospel.
yeah,
That's all I hear about right
nice.
now. I can write my own songs if I need them too. If I need them.
Yeah, I like. We were down in what was that place called down at Clarksdale, Mississippi, and we went out to the. I can't exactly remember, but we drove out of town to like an old cotton picking farm, and they turned it into a bar, and they had
Mm.
these really gospel blues players playing there, and it was
Mm.
quite entertaining for an afternoon, evening. Oh, another day too. We were in Memphis, and we went into the. Oh, man, I can't even tell you the church. It was Sunday, and the singer says, "Jonesy, we're in Memphis. It's Sunday. You coming to church with me?" And I went, "Oh man!" Like it was crack of dawn. I said, "Oh, we were out all night." He said, "You're gonna love it. Trust me." So we turned up to this church, and it was full of uh, like how do I say it? Not Anglo Saxons. It was the American singing, like really soulful. The choir was in like robes, and man, it was like something out of the Blues Brothers. It was awesome.
Yeah.
The vocals and the, the voices, and we walked in the back, and and everyone was sort of looking, and we just sat down, and they come around. We put some money in the plate. At the end of at the end of the service, they come up and said, "Oh, what brought you in today?" And we, "Oh, g'day, mate. We're from Australia. We just thought we'd pop in." That sort of, And they go, "Oh, we got a couple of Aussies," and then everyone's, "Oh, yeah." That was awesome.
I can write any kind of music, spiritual, any kind of song that comes to mind. But if I need it, no.
Um, I'm a bit of a.
Oh, okay.
That's my. That's I've been
I
following
got
them since they were first.
I got my Johnny Cash one on.
I
Oh, nice.
transposition music so I can change chords and transposition and change the chords to a song and lower the chord or higher the chord.
Yep. No, that's nice. It's you can't music. I tell you what, music is a part of your life, whether you like it or not, and it's in your psyche, in your soul. It's everywhere. So I can't get by without music every day.
Me either. I listen to a variety of everything. I mean, I do like some Bach and some Beethoven.
That
Yeah,
puts me to sleep.
I've got some over here. My record
That boy,
collection. My record collection's
I had some
right out there.
old time, like the stuff she's talking about. I had a bunch of them, and I used to listen to them, and it made me go to sleep. So I gave them away to
So
someone. They bored the hell out of me. I don't know what it is
you
about
want to
that
try?
music that knocks me out.
You want to try to? Yeah, you want to try to jam with it, but you want to work out what chords go with it, and while it's playing, you're strumming away. Trust me, it gets you really thinking, and then it develops a pattern, and then you sort of get that song started in your head, and then next minute, now you're off with a
I
new
gave them away
song.
to someone that wanted them, so I gave the CDs to them. 'Cause I don't want this stuff. That stuff, don't forget it.
See, I
I,
think it's
Yeah,
relaxing myself.
I like something hip,
yeah,
like something with.
I like everything. Yeah, mate, I've even got Jane Fonda's original vinyl what was it? Not Jazzercise, but the exercise LP that you used to put on, and she'd tell you what to do. I still got that in my
Mm,
collection. I've had that for a number of years.
I mean, some of the new stuff they have out today, I like. Um, a lot of times, I like the beat and the sound of it more than the lyrics. But then when you get into that screaming rock where you can't even understand what the heck they're saying, then I have a hard time
Yeah.
listening to it because their voice almost drowns out the instruments.
Mm.
I've just a mate of mine's band. A mate of mine is like an ex roadie who's all his life he's well into his 60s now, and all of his life he's toured with bands, but as a roadie. He's done lighting, he's done sound, he's lugged boxes off stage and into trucks and off to the next gig. And he's at his age now. He says, you know what, I'm going to do an album for me. It's going to be all the songs I liked in my youth, and I'm going to change them so they're really different and my style, the way I hear it. And because he hung out with so many great musicians, he's got such a talented pool of people to pick from. So he called his band um, the Odd Collective, like it's an odd
Mm-hmm.
collection of musicians who's ever available when there's a gig on. And man, we went up to Byron Bay, which is a really lovely area, into this really fancy recording studio with about 8 different musicians, and he done a couple of songs, but he's just released a version of Eleanor Rigby, the Paul McCartney song, and
Mm-hmm.
he's changed it up, a bit of a rocking sort of sound, but I've been working on that getting that together for him with a dodgy computer. My computer's got to go in the shop and get souped up a bit. It's really lagging bad for what I do. But no, it's a nice song, and it was good to be able to go to the studio, film and record it, have the fun and the party of it. Come home, them do all the technical stuff, put it all together. Then they get the licensing and get it licensed and release it. And then he says, "You know what? It's nearly time for you to do the video." And I said, "It's Christmas." And he said, "Yeah, we're going to put it out." I said, "Okay." So I've been sitting here for a day and a half putting it together for him. But, that just got dropped today. But it's an interesting chord progression, and it's different from the original. But you know, he's done some Frank Zappa as well, so that tells you where his mind is. He's gone from the Beatles to Frank Zappa to Hall and Oates. Like his music is right out there.
Mm.
But,
It's pretty cool though, especially to be able to put the video and stuff like that together for him.
yeah, oh, he's a good guy, mate. One of my good mates. So I've actually met him in a radio studio. He got asked to come in to like be a third wheel because he had so many good contacts. So he used to come in and we used to say, oh, we'd pick a band, and he says, "Yeah, I've got his phone number. I know that guy. I know these people, like big celebrities." And he'd say, "Oh, no, you haven't." He said, "Let me call him." And he'd call him up and say, "Hey, mate, I'm doing a radio show. Any chance we could chat?" "Yeah, call me back in 10." He said, "Yeah, 10 minutes. We can call him up." And then we'd be live on air, and we'd be ringing the number and getting all these Australian celebrities, and they thought we had the best show. Well, actually rated really well for a number of years. But it's like everything changed, and we all went our different ways. And he lives up further than my daughter now, so it's a bit of a mission to connect. But the beauty of this format, we can do it
Yeah.
regularly like this, and you can tell I can talk all day long. So you better shut me up. I won't stop.
It's all good.
That's how we
We're
get to
just
know
stick with
you
Rich
often, and we'll get to know you better.
with CFM.
Oh,
I went to his channel and created my own playlist of his original music, and then
yeah.
the Leonard Skinner one, and oh, I can't think of the other one without looking at it. Because when I was a kid, my dad, my biological father, used to play guitar, and he would sing to my mom and I. And there's just something about Rich that his music just touches my heart, and it just reminds me of him. So a lot of
He's cool,
times,
dude. Yeah.
um, it helps with my PTSD a lot. And I don't know why,
Okay.
but
Yep.
back then I put it on the loop sometimes, and
hmm
it's one of my favorite songs that he did. But I
Well,
listen to him
well,
all the
my
time.
passion. See, my passion is independent bands. So bands that nobody's ever heard of. I do a couple of radio shows. I do one show in London, one show in America, and one show for Australia that goes around to like college radio. It's the best way to describe it over here,
Mhm.
and what you'd probably understand it as. And I play independent bands. So these are all bands that most people that are listening are only just discovering. So and it's great to share great music. People wouldn't even know it doesn't exist until they hear it for the first time. So I usually try to pick the best of what my ear picks. I play what I like, and I've got an open license with the shows too, so they don't tell me what I have to play. Well, except for one channel says you got to do so many country songs, so many pop songs, and then you got to finish it off with so many rock songs. That's the way we want it. So if that's what they want, that's what they get. But
Yeah.
apart from that, I can pick whoever I want to play. See, if you worked in a FM station, you've got a record company that pays either a license or pays your money towards your station, and you've got to play what they feed you. And it's really uh, mind-numbing stuff here. It's not like the old days where you could ring up a DJ and say, "Hey, can you play me this?" And if it's not in their scheduled allocated songs, they won't play it over here.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's all run by two big corporations actually run radio FM radio in Australia.
We have some good local rock bands around here, but ever since the vid, I don't see any more like, hey, come to
Yeah,
Sharpshooters and watch this player. Um, they had this stage by the Mohawk River where the local bands will come and play and stuff. Since the vid, they don't do them very often. I haven't even seen like any flyers or advertising on Facebook much for them anymore. And they're all really good.
Yeah, well, it's summer season here now, so the festival seasons are kicking off. Venues are. We're in a tourist island, so our island's like a everyone this time of year now that you can get off the island, but you can't get back. Everything coming into the island is booked solid for like a month. If you wanted to duck over to the mainland and fly back, you've either got to get a small charter or you got to get a find another way to get back because I couldn't get across and get back if I went over for Christmas. So this year we've got to get bigger ferries. But, yeah, so at the moment this island is hopping with tourists, and there's music everywhere. So music's starting to gel back up again over here, which is great.
No, like here in New York, where we live upstate, so I'm like 200 and probably like 230 miles northwest of New York City. But you say, "Oh, I'm
Yep.
from New York." First place they think you're from is New York City, and people come here. They want to go to New York City, but New York City is not the prettiest place in New York State. The Adirondacks are. You go through the Adirondacks, go up to Lake Placid. There's so many more beautiful places to see in the Adirondacks than anywhere in New York City. I mean, if you like the city, that's one thing, but I was
Yep.
scared of liking New York City driving tractor trailer down there because New York City is not made for tractor trailers. Um, Back in the day, all their stuff was done with box trucks. So
Right.
they didn't change infrastructure of these warehouses. So there's a big difference between trying to back in a 53-foot trailer compared to a 20-foot box truck.
Yeah, I hear you.
And, the one Walmart store is actually an old Sears store. Now there you can only haul a pup trailer in, which typically are 20 foot, and you're underground, and it is so tight under there, and there's pillars. And the first time I went there, I swear it took me like an hour to get back to the dock because I'd never gone to that store, and it's weird in there. And like I said, it's a big difference between a box truck and a tractor trailer. And they never changed the buildings to accommodate because their docks are under the store, so and space is limited down there, so it's not like they could add on.
Yep. My brother drives a he calls it an 18 wheeler. So he's he's what's he carry now? He works for a company that their client changes every 2 years, and they go from he was carrying gas bottles interstate, and now he's man, I couldn't even tell you what he's carrying. But the good part about the new job is that the new client is that he ends up right near where my mother lives. So he drives from where he lives up interstate. He does a delivery and he's got to stay overnight. And he's my mother, who's 86 or 85, 86 this year, still living in a house. He pops in, and go, Mum, how you go? I'm here for a shower and a shave and everything else. And what have you got cooked for dinner?
Good evening, Judy May. Merry Christmas and thank you. Still going through the process of doing something I said I wasn't going to do, but I said the heck with it.
Good evening, good
Might as
evening.
well. All the work I've put into my channel, might as well go for the monetization part of it.
I'll go for it. Yeah. Have you got the hours, or Are you close to
Yeah,
the hours?
I
Or?
got 4,177 hours.
Oh,
I've had the
awesome!
hours, just didn't have the subs, and now I have both. So I started the process with that. Just waiting on
Congratulations!
them
That's
to review my
listen.
channel.
I should press this button over here. Just had it ready for something, but there you go. That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah, look at it. The penny's a penny. A dollar's a dollar.
Yep.
How many
I can't
how many people
physically go out
never?
and earn it. So
Well, I remember seeing you. Like I've been. I think I started in 2020 as a just a person surfing the web, basically as a watcher, not a creator. But I made a couple of videos for the family, and it wasn't until last March, that I decided to start, um, see if I can build something. And yeah, no, I'm enjoying meeting people and making a few videos that people seem to like, and just having a bit of fun. It's what life's about.
well, back a while ago, I was super scared about being on panel. Everybody always wanted me to come up. So the one night, Backwoods Misfits like, why don't you come up on panel? And I'm like back and forth. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll come back on panel or come up on panel. So that was the first time. And then GFF, you know, wanted me to come up on panel, and I kept, still shying away from it. And then the one night I said, the heck with it. So I got up on his panel, and um, he was live for a few hours. And he's like, well, I'm going to shut down. And I said, well, fine. If you're going to shut down, then I'm going to go live. And I've been doing lives ever since. And I still get nervous sometimes.
Yeah, I remember meeting Sheena. What's she called? I just know her as Sheena. I don't even know her. Keto Adventures.
Or life or whatever.
Yeah. She was on a live, and I was listening to her voice, but she'd never show her face. She was always behind the avatar. And I was egging her on, saying, "You got to come out behind the mask. Just be yourself." I was that voice in the. I was always. I'd come onto her live and I'd talk to her. I never knew what she looked like, and I would say, "You got to come out, come on." And she, "Oh, I haven't got my makeup on," and all that sort of stuff. I said, "Just be yourself." Took me about 3 shows, and now look at her. She's on it all the time, going, "Hi,
Mm-hmm.
everybody, it's me," and good on her. She's doing her
We're
thing. But
and talk
I remember that.
sometimes.
Oh yeah, it was interesting, but to know she was in that sort of timid, hiding behind the avatar, and now she's in your like she's right there. You
Yeah.
turn the YouTube on, and here she is. And so good luck to her. And I think she's qualified now too. So awesome
Yeah,
stuff.
she's monetized.
Mm. No, and like, where would a bloke from Tasmania meet someone from America, and like Rich from Canada, and who been talking, and yeah, like people in Texas, people in Mississippi, people in the Bahamas, and you just all get on and say g'day, and it's technology of today. Who would have like, honestly, go back to the 70s and the 80s, you'd be watching Get Smart with the shoe phone, and you'd be going, oh man, fantasy land, like as if that's ever going to happen. And then they brought out the bricks, the big brick walkie-talkie looking phones, the briefcase ones as well.
Yep.
And now look at them; they're like a little. You got them on your wrist. Like I haven't. My daughter got one for Christmas, actually. What do you want for Christmas? Oh, you never buy me nothing. I'd really want to. Oh, man, where are they and how much are they? She says, I'll show you where they are. And yeah, she's happy. She talks to her watch. How you going? Yeah, I'll be with you shortly. Yeah, it's funny. Technology, eh?
I'd like to know everything that I know now and go back to the 80s and then just live in the 80s for the rest of my life.
Oh, yeah. Well, look at this band, right?
Yeah.
I seen them live in about 1975. They were kicking off, and they had a singer before Bon Scott. His name was Dave Evans, and like I used to be this little kid sneaking in, and underage, going woo, rock and roll, like having a great old time. And my brother used to drag me around, and he said, "You want to come to see this band?" I go, "Yeah, I'll be." And anyway, long story cut short, I'm now really good friends with Dave Evans. He's the very first singer of AC/DC, and he's actually right at this moment he's in Mexico, doing a few gigs. Always in South America, Mexico, Brazil, all them weird, wonderful countries.
The only other country I've been to is Canada, and we went to Montreal, which is a super tourist trap, and the people are rude for that reason, I think. But they're rude.
Haven't
But
been to Banff.
no,
That's nice.
no, because we used to go camping on Saranac Lake on the Vermont side. So we took a day trip with my grandparents, and we went up to Montreal and walked around the little shops and stuff. I was a kid, maybe 10. But I just remember him being rude.
Stuck with you.
Other countries
They must.
I would go to is Australia, and I would not come back here. I would never come back here.
You'd
I
be
would
surprised how
disappear
similar.
into the outback.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of places to hide out. I mean, a lot of people go out there and never come back. I can tell you that they live their lives out there. This Tasmania's got a bit of that too. Like Tasmania gets a bad rap for being cold because we're the coldest sort of area in Australia. But when the mainlanders come down here, it's like Hawaii by the South Pole. Is probably the best way I can describe it. You've got golden sand beaches. You've got volcanic rock beaches. You've got old volcanoes and mountainous terrain, and beautiful farmlands, and everything grows rich out of the rich soil. And there's it's like wildlife aplenty. There's so much strange wildlife that it doesn't. There's nowhere else to be found. It's just marvelous, and like the people here. We go to the supermarket, and let me say, a few years ago, we went into a supermarket when we sort of first come down here, and the lady at the supermarket says, "Oh, hello, are you a tourist?" Because she hasn't seen me before. And this is an island of say 500,000 people. It's not like it's a small place. And the lady, and she hasn't seen me. I haven't seen you before, and I go, "Oh yeah, no, we've just bought a house in." Oh, what's and you think, "Oh, geez, what street?" Okay, it's in that street. Oh, you bought the Hendersons, like, well, yeah, the big white. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, they were lovely people. Yeah, lovely to meet you. And then they show you pictures of their kids and all this sort of stuff. And this is the lady on the checkout. You grab your groceries and out you go. And your wife goes, "Well, that was unusual." You go down to the second supermarket, same sort of scenario. "How's your day going, darling?" "Oh, yeah, did you come? You're on holidays?" You go, "No, no." "Oh, well, welcome in. I haven't seen you before." I go, and now you walk into the supermarket, those same people go, "Hi, Steve. G'day. How you going? What are you up to today?" "Oh, not much." But it's like, and you walk down the road, and you know how when people walk down the road if you're in Sydney, if you're walking down the road, everyone's looking at the pavement. No one wants to have eye contact.
Hey, Steven.
I mean, down here, yeah, down here, everyone's walking along and it's g'day, how you going? Someone's walking the dog, they want you to pat their dog, they stop with you with their dog. Oh, g'day, how you going? It's just a nice old school country sort of. I don't know. To me, it feels like I've gone back to the 80s, how it used to be.
Yeah, you
But they
don't
haven't
always
lost it.
get that here in the U.S. People just assume just ignore you and walk away. Not
Yeah.
everywhere, but a lot of places here like that. We've become a non-friendly place, typically to each other, not necessarily like people that come to visit from other countries. But towards each other, we're not very nice. And if I did go to Australia, I'd have to leave my girlfriend home because she wants to pet everything. So if we went into Outback, she would be petting something that she
You
shouldn't have
said
been
that.
petting, and I'd have to be bringing her home in a bag.
It's not that dangerous. Everything's designed to kill you somehow, but
Yeah,
it's not as bad as all that.
snakes, snakes.
Oh yeah. Well, we got snakes here. Like my backyard, I've got about 100 meters of a backyard. But my neighbour's place, he doesn't go. He goes about 25 meters up, or say 30 feet, and he doesn't use any more of that land. It's just gone native and feral, and there's kangaroos and all sorts of things living in there. He said, just be aware of snakes when the snake season comes. So I cut my grass as short as I can keep it because they want cover. They don't want to come out in the sun because they could be attacked by a bird. So yeah, you just got to be careful. Like spiders, you just got to be. Some spiders look big and hairy, but yeah, they'll kiss you. Where other spiders will be tiny, and that if they bite you, look out, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
But
Jamie
you get
just
to know.
doesn't like spiders, but snakes, on the other hand, she'd be trying to pick up every single one she could see, whether they're poisonous or not. That's why I said I'd be bringing her home in a bag.
Well, it'd be
Now,
80% of snakes here will get you. 20%
mhm,
are nice, and the rest of them are deadly.
Wow. Huh.
I carry a snake. Everyone carries. Not everyone. Say most sensible people carry a first aid kit. Well, you got to have a snake tourniquet because if you get bitten by say a brown snake, you've got to stop your blood flow. If you sit down, tourniquet yourself, or even if you just sat still and called an ambulance and they come and got you, you're good as gold. You'd last maybe 2 days if you didn't move before the poison would get you. But if you had to walk 20 minutes after you've been bitten, that 20 minutes of pumping the poison around your blood circulation will kill you.
Oh, wow.
So you got to tourniquet yourself. So I carry snake tourniquets. Yeah, because you don't want to be the person when it does happen and you haven't got a thing on you.
yeah,
But yeah, you just got to stop the blood flow and then get to the hospital and say what snake it was because everyone's got a different vaccine. But yeah, it sounds extremely dangerous. It's not. It's very rare. The last person to be killed by a snake would be years ago. You sort of learn what not to do, what not to pick them up.
you wouldn't listen, trust me.
Yeah.
I'd have to go and buy like every anti venom in the country because you probably encounter every single snake there. Because that's
Well,
how
you get them
she
for
is.
free. You get them for free here. You don't have to buy nothing. It's the hospital will pay for it, mainly. Or for us, I'm not sure about tourists. Actually, come to think of it.
You know me, I love spiders. The big
Yeah,
spiders, like the Goliath bird eater one, the tarantulas.
we get the big hairy looking things about as big as your hand
Mm-hmm.
inside the house every now and again. The wife doesn't like them. You just put them on a broom and take them outside. They'll eat all your bugs and your insects, and you know.
Hmm.
In my daughter's house in Queensland, she's got geckos, like the lizards. They
Mm-hmm.
got suction cups, and they live on the side of they're usually up the top corners of your house on the walls, and they eat mosquitoes and spiders and bugs. And you don't. They even sort of change color a bit and blend into the paint, like whatever color they'll
Hmm.
try to hide themselves. And yeah, she when she first seen them, she said, "Dad, we've got geckos." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Don't kill them. They're not going to hurt you. They're just going to eat all your bugs." And then she names them. She goes in the bathroom and she, like, "Hey, Harry, how you going?"
Yeah, a girl
And
that I went to school with, she had two tarantulas, and
oh,
we were
wow.
having a get together at her house, and I'm sitting outside in a chair like this, and I had a tank top on. Next thing I'm like, I feel these like weird little hairs on both of my shoulders, and I look, and here's this big old tarantula over here, and a big old tarantula here. She's like, "Don't that bother?" I said, "They're just spiders." I'm like, "I'm not scared of them." Now,
Good on you.
if it was a black widow or a brown recluse or something like that, that's, like
Yeah.
brown recluse, if you don't get to the doctor, their bites will eat your flesh off.
Hmm.
But I like
Yeah.
tarantulas.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's been an interesting Christmas day, and now Boxing Day's almost it's going up to 2:45. That day's almost finished. We'll be looking forward to New Year's Eve, and then we'll be all whinging that January's already finished, and now February's done, and then we're looking at
Goes by way
2023.
too quick.
Oh, the shops too. The shops have just put in hot cross buns in the shops here for Easter. Like, do you get them ones where they put the cross on the buns?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
They got these like fruit rolls or like bread that's got fruit inside them, and they put glaze over the top of it, and they put a cross on it. That's usually they come out at Easter. Well,
Hmm.
Christmas just finished, and today is the new launch of the hot cross buns. So they're nice to eat, but yeah, it's usually a seasonal thing for Easter, not in December. It's not even
I
January.
watched an Australia guy on YouTube that goes around looking at the abandoned houses, and he showed me how they built those. They're built lousy over there. They have no basements. They have kind of a funny way of building them. I couldn't believe how
Yeah,
they
my
they
place.
built those. Can't believe how they built
Well,
them.
my okay. Well, mine's on the side of a hill like this, and it's 108 years old. Um, it's on Tasmanian hardwood pillars. Like the pillars are only I don't know, I don't know 8 by 8 or something, but there's plenty of them, and you can walk under the house. Under the house is like a storage area, and
Mm.
but yeah, it's like I know what you're saying. In America, it's you've got your basements, and you've got your heating, and you've got all your sort of systems in place. Well, we've just got windows that you open up and fireplaces or heat pumps.
They have a dirt floor. They have a
Oh no,
foundation around the dirt floor, and they have brick walls in the middle to keep the floors steady. I seen on that guy's channel. He's showing some houses that were going to get
wow,
demolished. And they took the
yep,
floors out. They had no cellars and dirt floors and cracks in the walls.
You may want to know if you eat kangaroo, Jonesy.
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah. We've got kangaroos in our backyard. They're called paddy melons. They're like a small version of the wall. They're a bit smaller than a wallaby, but they're only found in Tasmania and in New Guinea, Papua New Guinea.
Mm-hmm.
They're called in the supermarkets. They're called Tasmanian wallaby, and it's really nice meat. They're classed as a plague or a pest. You're allowed to kill as many as you want. Basically, there's no. They're everywhere. They're in your front yard. They're hopping down the street. They're hit by cars. They're all over the place. Everyone calls them pets. They're really cute and furry, and you like looking at them.
I laugh at some guys fighting those damn animals. They're stupid. Some of those boxers
Yeah.
got knocked out by the kangaroo.
You know how a kangaroo. Yeah, I'll tell you. You see the videos where the guy walks up to the kangaroo and the kangaroo's doing this, and the guy just goes in and clips him. The kangaroo actually, what he does, he balances his weight like as good as he can get it with his legs, but he puts his weight on his tail. So their tails are like this round at the body, and then it thins out, and they balance on their tails and they kick their legs with 3 claws like a dinosaur. So if you ever look at a kangaroo's feet, they've got a main toe in the middle. It's got a really long claw and 2 little claws on the other side. And they balance, and then they lunge at you with their legs like that, and they slice you straight down here.
I was telling Wayne the other night, because we were talking about the video with the guy boxing the kangaroo. I said, if they bounce back on their tail and they come at you with them back feet, I said they'll slice you wide open.
That's how they kill you. Yeah, a guy got killed only about maybe 5 months ago over in Western Australia. He had a pet kangaroo and raised him out in his property, and he got to an age where he was big, angry, and grumpy, and he done something that the kangaroo didn't like, and the kangaroo just went and just opened him up, and he just bled out. So yeah, they can be. And you'll see most of the country boys that do the fighting have got like usually a flannelette or something thick clothing, always got denim jeans on because they do protect you a bit, and boots. But you don't see too many people fighting them in shorts and a singlet because
you think that they'd have like Kevlar on.
Well, country boys, as you know, do sort of have big egos, and they try to pump their chest out and show the girls that they're all that. Yeah, but yeah, and kangaroos do kill dogs too. So sometimes the kangaroos attacking a dog, and then you're going to go and protect your dog. You don't think twice; you just go in. But yeah, no, it's interesting. Good old Australian kangaroos, actually. What have I got here? No, I got a 50-cent coin, a $50. Oh, I get. Oh, there's. Oh, it's the crest, the Australian crest. It's got an emu on one side and a kangaroo, which you probably can't see properly.
Cool.
Yeah. There's a kangaroo over this side, and the emu on the other side. But anyway, that's a $50 with the old queen, who is no more.
Crazy how our currency is so different.
Yeah, but what makes them think they can fight a kangaroo? What started all that anyway? What started all that off?
I think it's the way they bounce, like they're sparring. Like a boxers will spar. Kangaroos do the same sort of thing when they're fighting. You look at two after this. Go on YouTube and look at kangaroos fighting, and you'll see the two kangaroos have got little arms, so they try to grab, and then they lunge with their back legs trying to slice them
Yeah,
open. That's it.
I've seen this
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, well, that's how they fight.
Seen a guy
But,
fighting a boxer got knocked right out by one, and the guy was dragging him on the ground away from the kangaroo, and I started laughing. So why would you fight him anyway, idiot?
Yeah, well, here's a dollar coin. Actually, I should have showed you this one. It's got
Hmm.
it's got like about 6 kangaroos on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the best camera.
Uh,
Okay.
Like I
Big
said,
one at the
it's
front.
crazy
Yeah.
how different our currency is.
Oh yeah. Yeah, especially the notes, paper notes. Man, we come over there and they all look the same. Over here, like $100 bills are green. Our 50s are like a goldy browny color. Our tens are blue. Our 20s are orange. Our fives are purple. And like we come over there and everything's grey. And you drive on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, that would throw me off.
It doesn't take long to adjust.
we got cars on the wrong side, Joe. The steering wheels.
Yeah, on the right hand side. I've got a Jeep. So my Jeep's obviously built wherever they build Jeeps. And if I want to pop the hood, I've got to go to the left hand side of the car, like the passenger side for me, and open the door and then pop the latch because it's designed for the left hand driver. Yeah.
Oh,
So
See, we
okay.
used to have coins, and the only reason they came out, they started doing paper money was to finance wars. So originally, it was just paper.
right, yeah.
And then as time went on, the money,
Yeah, we
started
used to
being
have
printed on a certain paper, you know, and all this other stuff. And now we have bars through them.
Hmm.
And that one's cool looking too.
that's a $2 coin with an indigenous, like an Aboriginal, with the Southern Cross, the stars, and the Aboriginal. Actually, I've got a better camera.
But
You saw,
plus, it was easier for them to carry the paper money than it was, like chests or boxes of the coins.
well, that makes sense.
But originally, it wasn't supposed to stay a thing, but it became a thing because, start printing more money to finance war and
Yeah.
this and that. And then, we're trillions of dollars in debt. You can go watch that clock live. The U.S. World Debt Clock. It's so
Wow.
crazy to sit there. You just sit there and that number is just constantly changing. And we had to do it for U.S. government. And it shows, I haven't looked at it in a long time, but it showed like how much each person in the world would have to pay that debt off.
Wow.
It's just
It's,
crazy. That clock just
it's,
constantly runs.
and where does it all end up? Like what did they just pass? They just pass more trillions, or they're trying to pass it, or like you can't even picture $1 million in your hand. Imagine trillions. Yeah, they've got me beat. I'm happy to get my little few hundreds here and a few hundreds there. Keeps me going.
And I'm gonna show you the clock. It's crazy.
Well, Stephen Ratner texted me. He said he has a C word. He has it.
This is our
Oh, wow.
national debt clock, and this is real time. So this
Wow.
is how many trillions we're in debt right here. This is each
Wow.
state's
That's a,
debt. This
Jeez.
is debt per citizen. U.S. debt, the state debt. This is per citizen. Then local debt. And then down here, it tells you right here, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, defense of war, you know,
so where's this?
all of
Where's it
this
say
stuff.
where's the per person? Which one's that one?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
That fascinates me. Look at it go.
Yep.
Oh wow.
See, this is our foreign debt right here.
Yeah.
U.S. trade, U.S. deficit to China. Um, income tax. There used to be a spot on here. It was crazy. Now
Yeah.
this right here is interest paid per adult. And I think this one here, because it's personal
Oh yeah.
debt per citizen,
Oh yeah.
basically.
I gotcha. Yep.
And then this is all like your
Oh
student loan, credit card debt. And then,
yeah.
where the heck is
Wow.
it?
Man, so if everybody paid back, everybody in America, is it? Or is it the world?
Yeah,
Everyone in America paid, every person in
right
there
here.
paid 72,600. Used to be
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah. And right here, you see living in poverty. 41
Yeah.
million people living in poverty. And
Yeah.
then, it tells you everything. Your manufacturing, government jobs, union jobs, the income, dollar to gold ratio, silver. But this
Man.
clock, this is 24 hours a day, 360. This does not stop. And if
So
you look
who
here
puts
where
that
it
out?
says, huh?
Who's the person that does all this? Is this a
I
government?
don't know if it's just a program. It's the United States government clock to let everybody be able to watch it.
Oh man.
Like you can look at state debt clocks,
Jeez.
then your world. See, this tells you right here.
Yeah,
This
see,
is
we're
the
not.
debt clock, and it tells
Wow.
you all the national debt
Oh wow.
for all the different
See, we're going all
and
right.
what
We're not on the
they're getting.
board yet.
And then there's
Oh, there we are.
Australia right there.
There we are. Oh, so we what's that? 700 and
So see,
720
that's
11 million, is it?
111
Trillion.
trillion
Wow.
or bill. Yeah, trillion, I think. And then this is
Oh,
your domestic product. The interest,
yep.
external debt, but it has everybody,
Oh
all the
man.
different countries. You can see their national debt.
So which one would be the
And then
smartest country
that with
there?
your mortgage, energy, gold, and precious metals. But yeah,
Wow. I've never seen that before.
yep,
That's fascinating.
yeah. It's called the U.S. Debtclock.org. So you can go
Yeah.
and
Yeah, I read it
watch
down.
this, and it just keeps changing and changing.
Yeah, it gives you perspective, especially when governments change. just to see if it's
Yeah.
getting better or worse.
Yeah, I always thought that was the coolest thing when we had to do our participation in government class,
Oh,
and we
wow.
had
Sing up.
computers in school, so we'd have to go and watch the debt clock for a certain amount of time, and
Huh.
see how much like the gold and silver plate prices dropped in say like a half hour.
Yeah.
And we'd have to look at each country and be like, okay, well, who's the next country that's in just as much debt as we are?
We
But
used
yeah,
to we used to have we we used to buy shares at school. That was our sort of thing into finance. Pick a company that you'd like to buy shares in, and we will do that. So everyone was picking shares on, for whatever reasons, and I was just looking at all the companies' names, and there was an ice cream company, and I went, yeah, I'm going for that one. I like ice cream. Everyone likes ice cream, but mine didn't go up or didn't go down. But it was amazing how some people's, yeah.
but yeah, sometimes I'll go and I'll sit there and just watch that clock, and it just blows me away how it just keeps adding more and more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
And you think
No.
about it, like all the millions upon millions of people, how much they would actually have to, like, if that clock stopped, say,
Yeah,
if
and
that
who's
clock
getting all that
stopped,
money? Like, picture that, and picture where all that money goes, and where does it end up?
not where it
Like,
should.
that's money that's been spent. Like, that's debt on money that's been spent. So now you walk that backwards and try to follow the trail of the money, and then you go, where does it go? Like, obviously, defense and, you know, all that sort of stuff where they spend money on stuff that the world should never even worry about. But
Well, you think with
yeah,
all the federal tax revenue that, everybody over here has to pay in,
like,
including government and stuff. I
yep,
mean, think about it. The U.S. federal debt to GDP ratio back in 1960, it was 52.06. Now it's 121.84%.
wow,
And Medicare and Medicaid is
yep,
where a lot of it goes. You're talking 1,506,873,460,000, blah 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 blah, and it just keeps going up and up. It's crazy.
Welcome, Hayden. Rainbow.
Good
good,
afternoon, Eden.
good
Merry
afternoon.
Christmas.
Where's Eden from? It's afternoon here. Asia,
What time is it
assuming.
here?
Oh, Phil.
Philippines, because here it's 11:08 p.m. There it's,
It's
well,
just
in the
after 3.
Philippines it would be noon,
Yeah,
little after noon.
it's just after 3 o'clock,
Yeah,
Boxing
because
Day.
they're
So
13 hours ahead of me.
oh, well, they're
And
1 hour behind me because I think I'm 14 hours. Anyway, it's good to see someone on this side of the world. How you going? This side of the equator. I've got a we've got we've got a small dog, and he's just got out of his needles and everything, so he's allowed to go outside now. So I put some side fences up, and I've done some gates, but we've got such a large yard. Little fella's running amok and getting burrs and caught all in him, and now the wife and the daughter says, "Oh, we can't let the precious little fella out run around on the grass. He might get sticks and dirt on him." And he's turning into a big fluffy toy. but
See if you
he,
solve. Yes.
I tell you what he does find. He finds all the leftovers from kangaroos that are in the yard. Apparently, it's got something in that they like to eat. That the vet said to us, it's okay, it won't hurt him. But just doesn't seem right.
No.
No.
And don't ask me why, but dogs always want to do that. Like our pit bull, we take him out. If he finds a pile of a deer scat, and he wants to stand there and eat it like it's freaking candy, and it's like, dude, you're gross.
Well,
You're
it
gross.
is gross. It is. We took him down the beach for the first trip out, so we drove down in the convertible, and he's got long fur. Like he's a Maltese. No, he's not a Maltese. He's a Shih Tzu cross Hauschen. It's like a German sort of a dog that's small, but a bit bigger than a Maltese and a Shih Tzu. But he's a ball of fluff and fur. And he's discovered the because he's lived inside all his life. He's discovered the joys of fresh air and the wind. And we're driving along, and the wind's just when you put your windows down in a convertible, the wind comes in and gets you. When you have
Yep.
your windows up, the wind's just going over your head. And the daughter's hanging on to him, and he's going, and basically he's like putting your head through a sunroof, like up he's gone, and the wind's
Yep.
hit him, and I wish we had it in slow motion. It's like, ooh yeah, and he's doing all this sort of stuff as the wind's going through his fur, and getting some strange looks from people. He wasn't sure of the sand. Then he got used to it, and then he heard the waves. And he thought, what's that? And then he sat down for about 5 minutes and just looked at the water crashing in and then coming up to him and going back, and then waves coming in and crashing. And it was like something he's seen for the first time in his life, and he's just gone, wow, what
This
is this
is my
crazy
puppy.
place?
Now you see on his legs, those are all snowballs. He's a Bichon
Right.
Frise Yorkie cross. Those are
That
all
could be what
snowballs stuck in his hair.
Oh man.
I have to blow dry him when he comes inside.
Okay. Well, they have to wash him here.
He's got floofy hair too.
Yeah, I just not sure what.
Merry Christmas, Merton and Sue. Hope you guys had a great holiday.
Hey, Merton and Sue. Yeah, here we go.
Aw.
Yeah, so he's like, oh.
Yeah, he is face too.
Yeah, they're very similar.
Yep.
Yeah,
the way his mouth is open like that, it reminds me of one of the little Tasmanian devils. The way his mouth is open.
Here he is, like he's down at the beach. He's going, hey, this is a dog friendly beach, so everyone takes their dogs to this beach. So we didn't know if he'd run amok or there was some other big dogs down into it. So we kept him on the lead. But when he was eating rocks and sniffing sand and chewing on seaweed, here he goes. The waves are coming in. He's just going, whoa. But he's definitely.
Yeah, this is ours earlier today in the snow.
Well, that's there. I'll tell you what. What breed is he? Did you say?
He's a Bichon Frise Yorkshire Terrier cross.
Yeah, right. Yep. We'll see how they move around. Like they just
There's
like
my
they're going to
pit
take
bull.
off. Dump. Lumbering around. Little one will be 100 miles an hour, doing everything. There he goes. Yep. That's it. That's what our dog does. Exactly that. Exactly that. And then you hype him up even more by clapping your hands, and he'll go twice as hard. You say, "Come on, come on, come on!"
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're funny. Yes,
Yeah.
they are
No,
both
well,
definitely.
we couldn't. Our last dog died before we moved here, and we bought that dog for my daughter, who's now 26. No, no. She'd be 27, and we bought that for her for her 6th birthday. So that dog was like old when he died. Well, he had a good run anyway.
Yes, Merton and Sue. He'll be 5 months tomorrow. He's I'm training him for my service dog for my PTSD, which is
Well, ours
hard
is 4
because I
months.
have so much distraction in my house that it makes it hard to train him with so much distraction.
Yeah. Our little fella's 4 months, and we had him 2 months with the breeders, and then we've only really had him for 2 months in the house. But I tell you what, he's claimed his territory. He knows he's got toys by the hundreds to play with, and there's a cat. We've got a cat as well. That's like an old cat. The cat doesn't
Merry
want to bar at
Christmas,
him. He
Steve.
gets excited.
Oh yeah. Well, my house, I feel like I'm a zoo. I have 3 female cats, a baby mouse, a weasel, a ferret, but I call him a little weasel. Then we have a
Okay.
90-pound pit bull, and then our puppy, and then of course we have chickens and turkeys and.
Wow.
Henry the Mean Rooster.
I mean,
And you just leave my mean rooster alone, Wayne.
Henry the Mean Rooster. I don't like 3 people in the house. Her girlfriend,
And he likes me.
Crystal, and Mother Hen. They don't like that. Rooster don't like either one of them. Only likes Tasha. I start laughing. I hear that.
Roost's funny, but yeah,
Well,
roosters can be
earlier
funny.
I go in and the one black one, she's got this big red cone and her big cheeks, and she's a dominant hen. Well, she's picking on one of the lower pecking ordered ones. So she's got a spot, about the size of a $half pecked in her back. So I was in doing their water yesterday, and doesn't the black hen come over and start pecking at her? Well, I slapped her the first time, and then, she stayed up, stayed back. Well, then I like turned my head like this, and then she, started pecking at it again because unfortunately, once chickens taste blood, they'll just keep doing it. They're like little pterodactyls, I call them. So the second time I grabbed I grabbed her by her neck, and of course she's a dominant hen, so our rooster looks at me, and I looked over. I'm like, "You just stay right over there," And then he stepped closer, and I took her and I threw her right at him, and then he's over there making his little chirpy chirp noises to her, like saying, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" But I have to put blue coat on there, and that dyes your hands. So you got to make sure you got rubber gloves, which I forgot to grab from my mom earlier. Because if you don't keep that stuff on there, they'll just peck the hell out of her until she's dead. Good night,
And
Matthew.
what do you use the birds for?
This set of birds just eggs,
Eggs. Yep.
and we're supposed to have 12 hens because the chickens are supposed to be sex.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as they're growing, I'm looking at the tail feathers, and I told my mom, I'm telling you, this one is a rooster, because the cone started growing quicker, the cheeks started growing quicker, and his tail was coming and floofing over. So what I want to do is, if I can't get a broody hen, then I'm going to get an incubator, and then I'm going to hatch them out. Then I'm going to raise those just for meat, because these birds are dual purpose. You can raise them for meat or eggs, or you can just buy meat birds. And then our 2 female turkeys, they lay eggs too.
All right. Well, I've never had chickens, so I heard some this morning. Actually, I come out here at 5 o'clock in the morning to make sure that guy's video was finished by the time he wanted it. So I was out here early in the morning, and the sun's coming up, and I can hear the chickens. So someone close by has got chickens, but like this time of the day, can't hear any of them.
Well, because I just have a heat lamp in there. Well, it was to keep the water unfroze, which it was working, but it don't work for like 20 below, so their water froze. So then I had to go buy a heated water, but I leave the lamp on because this time of year they're closed in.
So how do you buy heated water?
Huh?
You had to buy heated water? Is that what you said?
No, a heated water. It keeps the water heated enough to where it doesn't freeze. You pour the
I
water
got
in,
you.
it's electric. You plug it in, and it keeps it
Okay.
like, I want to say like 36 degrees. But
I've never seen one, and I probably know what they're used for. I hope I don't see one, because I know if I do see one, I'll be cold.
yeah. Well, the one I got, it's basically about this big, and it's round, and that part you plug in. Then I bought the big galvanized water that you sit on top of it. So that plate is heated, and it'll heat that container up to where um, it prevents it from freezing down to
Yeah.
like a certain temperature. If it gets, say, like 40 below, the water's still going to freeze, because they
Yeah.
don't make a water that will keep it warm enough for that.
Oh, I was in Nebraska in 2020 in late January, and every little bit of water that we could see was frozen. So all the ponds were frozen, the rivers were frozen. Um, yeah, I've never seen that before. We left Kansas to go to Nebraska, and it was they were worried because of the storms. They were worried we wouldn't get through, but yeah, the highways were pretty much either salted or plowed or whatever. But no, it was for me as an Australian, it was beautiful to watch all this like scenery of the winter wonderland. But I don't know if I could live with it time and time again.
No. Sometimes it's bad out there. The snowbanks will be 15
Yeah,
foot tall, and you're like, feel like you're driving in a tunnel. And
yeah,
it's crazy because we used to get winters like that back in the 80s here. Our snowbanks would be like 20 foot tall. There's a picture of my mom
so we
standing up on top of the snowbank above the telephone lines.
Where do they put that snow when they try to get rid of it? Where does it go?
Here, we have plow trucks that come down. They have a V plow in the front, which V's it
Yeah.
off on the side of the road. Then they have a
Yep.
wing that comes out, which it'll push it further back. So
Right.
when you get heavy winters, every time they come down, that snowbank just keeps getting higher and higher and higher and higher. Now in the city, down in New York City, they have to load it into dump trucks. They
Yeah.
they
I
use
just
a front end loader, load it into dump trucks, and they'll take it to a certain place
yeah.
and they'll dump it.
And you got to wait for warm weather to come before it melts.
Yeah, that's why we end up, if we have a bad winter with a lot of snow, we flood.
Wow.
But here,
You don't think of that.
the plows just plow it, and the snowbanks will just get higher and higher.
And so what? You just shovel out a pathway to the road or to your driveway or whatever you got to
Yeah.
do,
Or
Plow.
and you got
snow blow it.
you
We
got
have
walls of snow.
yep. We do normally we take care of our driveway, and it's a pain in the butt because the plows come down, say every like 2 to 3 hours. Well, when we got to like 18 inches of snow, it took us hours just to clean up the driveway. So now once you get the driveway clear, and you can't snow blow through the end of the driveway because it was a heavy wet snow, so it packs like concrete. So you have to shovel it. And then they'll come back down a couple hours later and plow the end of the driveway in, and then you have to go back out and do it again. Have a good night, Martin and Sue. Again, Merry Christmas.
Good night, Matt and Sue.
Yep. Merry Christmas.
Thank you,
Is
Eden. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for your support.
Gandalf said, "Yeah, that's a problem. They put snow anywhere they can," which you don't think of it as. Yeah, they must like fill up sporting fields or.
Yeah. Now here, if it gets super bad, the towns will bring out the big snow blower, which is on like a piece of equipment, and they will blow the snow back. So they have more room to plow through.
And
But
what's the go?
go
Sorry.
ahead.
What
Go ahead.
what's the go with the salt? Do they put salt on the highways and it melts the snow? Apparently.
Yes. What this okay, with the state, like our state roads, they use straight salt, rock salt. That melts all the ice. So then typically they'll come back through an hour or so later and they'll plow the slush off. Now
All
the
right.
town, because we live in the middle of nowhere, the town, they use a sand salt mixture. So it doesn't always necessarily melt through the ice, but it puts the coating of sand on so it makes it less slipperier.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Now they
Yeah,
do
we
have
were in
this
a
stuff that they pre-treat it with too. It's if we're calling for this big ice storm, they'll go out and pre-treat the road with this like blue green stuff. So that way it prevents it from icing as quick. So it gives them time to get back out with the salt trucks and get the salt down. And they have this machine on the back that spins like this, and it sprays the salt like that.
Does it affect your car?
Yes.
Like the salt going underneath it rust your car out?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll rust it out. It rusts cars out quick here.
Wow. It's strange where this conversation's gone, but for me, it's fascinating. Like that part of that's part of life I've never thought of,
Yeah, it just
never
depends
needed to
where
think
you
of.
live. Like the inner cities, they have to do things a lot differently than we do out here in the country, like in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we have almost 50 acres of land here, and most
Oh,
everybody
nice.
around us has big properties. Um, so here they
Is it
just plow the road. But
workable
in the
land,
city,
or is it
yeah,
mountainside, or workable land?
ours here is pretty much flat.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
we have well, it's a stream now. It was this little creek back when I was a kid, but the beavers have undermined the banks, and so some parts of that is like 10 foot deep, and that runs through. They flooded some of our property, but we have hardwoods, pines, red pines, which the
Yep.
red pines they use to make telephone poles. But
Yep.
here it's pretty much all flat.
Well, it sounds like you got plenty of land to do some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Got any hot houses out there? Got any um, greenhouses?
No, that's what I told mom because produce is getting so expensive here. Like it's almost $2 for a head of lettuce. That
Yeah.
looks like you drug it behind your car for 5 days because that's how bad it looks.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
have a raised bed that my mom's boyfriend made, and I told mom, I said it would be nothing to support the sides and then put a pitch roof on it and put the heavy plastic on. And I said we could make a small wood stove out of an old 20-pound propane tank, and that would be
Yep.
plenty enough heat to keep it warm in there when we don't have sun.
Well,
But I
we had
told her
that
I want.
problem here with we had lettuce here that was like $15 and $12 a head when they had the floods, and there was no lettuce to be bought anywhere. Most of the lettuce producers all went underwater, and it just I know it was week, it was months ago. It got me motivated to buy seed, buy seedling, like buy the all the seed mixes, and I started planting lettuce in my little hothouse, which was near the house, which I've just moved it up the yard a bit further. And yesterday I forgot to. Usually I open up because we're getting hot weather. Usually I zip it up tight and I fill it up with water, like I hose everything,
Mhm.
close it up, and it gets this really good humidity in there. And I didn't touch it yesterday because it was Christmas, and I went, "Oh, gee, I better open it up today because I don't want to cook the plants." I opened it up, and mate, all the lettuces that I were growing, they've gone from like little seedlings to in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I won't be buying lettuce for a while.
Well, here we do a lot of gardening, and then we do a lot of uh, canning. We do water bath canning. We pickle stuff like we make homemade spaghetti sauce, salsa,
Yep,
pickled green beans, um, pressure can vegetables.
yep.
There's
So
everything we
what's
can
sort
do.
of favorite? Obviously, you grow tomatoes. Any?
Yeah,
Is there any?
we grow tomatoes, green beans, peas,
Oh, traveling trees.
um,
Merry Christmas
leaf
to you.
lettuce.
TF.
We grew probably 6 or 8 different types of tomatoes.
Mm.
And then
Yeah,
I have a
nice.
bunch of different ones from Garden State Gardener. They're blue-green tomatoes. They're blue
Yep.
on the outside when you slice them. They're green on the inside. Merry
Oh wow.
Christmas, traveling fools.
Yeah, he's got a good radio voice. That guy.
Yes, he does.
TF.
Instead of
Like
the yo yo yo, it's ho ho ho.
yeah, he's a good guy.
But yeah,
Yeah. No,
we're
we've
I
our
only
kangaroo.
put one more.
My
Nothing.
outdoor. Yeah, my outdoor vegetable patch got cleaned out by the kangaroos twice. Someone told me to do something different second time, so I redone it again, and they still cleaned it out. So now I'm growing everything in in my little portable hothouse, and then I'm gonna pot it up and bring them closer to the house where they don't like come into. Um, I fenced off the yard, and I've done everything to keep them out at the moment. And we have one little bugger, and I don't know whether he's trapped in here. I can't find him, but he every night and he eats the grass. Last night we had two little ones. Because it's summer, the spring's just finished, and there's a lot of young ones out. Um, unless they can jump over 6 foot fences, which maybe they can, or maybe they're just hiding in a really good hidey hole. I can't find them. But yeah, I can't plant anything in the ground unless I fence off another yard for the get some electric fences or something to keep them out. Otherwise, it's wasting my time.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
shame.
why we built a raised bed, and it's got walls, and we use chicken wire
Yeah, right.
around the sides. Which I told Mom if we do another one, um, I said why not make it a greenhouse? I said then we can grow all year round because all you really need is a small wood stove that to keep the when you
Yeah,
water to help keep the humidity up to help the plants because we get so cold. And here you can't use anything portable. It has to be a fixed structure because of the high winds we get
yeah,
with storms and stuff like that. I had a portable one at one time. Yeah,
yeah,
that blew
yeah. Well,
halfway in the next
I,
county
I,
base.
we do get big winds here too, but I've sort of pinned it to the ground as good as I can get. But we'll see what happens. I got enough pots on them, all holding. They give you these wire racks to put your pots on, so
Yeah,
when you're watering the machine and the water goes through. Well, that for me, I put the pots are that heavy that it sags it a bit. So I've cut some old hardwood timbers and got some nice little shelves in there, and it seems to be working. Hopefully, the weight of all that will keep it steady. But I've got broccoli, capsicums, lettuce, potatoes, beans. What else have I got growing in there? There's probably something I forgot. Oh, we got some tomatoes. I got some special tomatoes growing for another guy.
got a little bit of breeze going on. I see the tree blowing behind you.
Uh yeah, yeah. Well, that's the neighbour's property actually, right behind my house. The fence is probably see the fence there.
Yeah,
Yeah. Where's this? Where have I plugged you? Right. I've moved my studio around so my camera lead doesn't go out the door anymore. But oh, you see the little structure up the top there?
yeah,
Yeah, that's all this. Well, this is a garden across here. They're all the hydrangeas coming out. But I've got all this land up that goes up the hill here, and there's a lot of broken branches or cut down branches that I've got a fire pit just this side of those branches. But they've just brought in I planned on sitting back in Christmas, having a few drinks outside and by the fire, watching the water and just chilling out the back there. Well, they've just brought in a fire band. You have to apply for a permit to have an open flame. Yeah, so there was no fire pit burning there. They'll say no if you say for a fire pit. If I had an incinerator, that's different. So I got some yard. Want to clean the yard up for the snake problem. They more than likely tell you to put it in your car and take it to the tip, and it will let you tip it for free. But I like to burn stuff. I like to sit down by a fire at night and watch the water.
Yeah, we like to have fires in the summer here. Now we do have a burn ban after winter, so typically we can't burn until like May, unless we have one of them fluke years where it's like 90 degrees in April. Then the burn ban ends quicker,
So,
but typically we can't burn till May.
so yeah, there's not much difference between wherever you go, like Australia and America. We land in Dallas and go around Arkansas and down to uh, Austin, and then we go right down to what's the Cajun area right down the bottom there?
Louisiana.
Yeah, we all go down there, and then we turn around usually and travel back up. We go down to Jackson, and then obviously Mississippi with Nashville and all these little places in between. That's the way we usually tour. We go up the middle of America that way, and you'd look honestly if I filmed the camera out the window and then went up like that sort of middle of Australia, or not middle of Australia, but the rural countryside of the New England, and I filmed it the same. You'd honestly think it's the same footage because it's
Yep.
very very similar.
Now you want to see two beautiful states in the summertime. North and South Dakota are gorgeous.
Yeah,
I love the
haven't done that.
Dakotas, but I would never go there in the winter.
Right, I'll take that on board. Definitely coming back. Just working out scheduling. If I can get something over there that sort of helps finance a trip, I'll I'm trying to sort out a band who wants to tour, and if they do want to tour, then that'll sort of finance a bit of a holiday at the same time.
Yeah, see, I'd
So
go from Denver, Colorado, and I had a 4-stop load up in North Dakota. And luckily, it's July. So travel a state road, not an interstate at first, but it's still 2 lanes on each side. So it's still a highway at highway speed, 65 miles an hour.
yeah,
Well, going through there, catch out of the corner of my eye all this stuff running. So I had to literally stop on the side of the road and let hundreds upon hundreds of pronghorn deer cross the road because they will not stop. They will just keep coming. You'll end up hitting 20 of them at the same time. That's how many just come down. But I love the Dakotas. I could not handle. Okay, Gandalf. I'm gonna be shutting it down here in a few minutes because I have to get up early to go have Christmas with my grandmother tomorrow. But yeah,
I was looking at my
I've
watch
been
too,
everywhere.
thinking,
I've been everywhere in the U.S. except Nevada, Alaska, and Hawaii. I've been to every other state in the U.S. numerous times.
I want to
Utah,
go to Alaska. Alaska's on my must do
yeah, I'd love to go there.
list.
But that's one state that you better like yourself or who you're with because
Oh,
a lot of
yeah,
the places that there are to live is not in the city. It's like small areas like Ketchikan and Juneau,
yeah.
couple of the other little towns that are like hundreds of miles from like Anchorage or Fairbanks or whatever. But if I didn't
I'd love
have
to
so
go
much
and
steel in my body, then I would have no problem living in Alaska or even living here, to be honest. I don't like having to go outside, but before I broke my back, it never bothered me. But I have so much metal hardware in my spine that just when I get a chill, sometimes it takes me a full day to warm up.
a good mate of mine fell down this big ditch and broke his vertebrae, and they had to give him fusion, and he's got the two titanium nuts and bolts
Right.
and everything else
Yeah.
holding his lower back together. He's actually the guy I done that music video for today. Yeah. Yeah, so I hear what you're saying, for sure.
All right, I'm gonna have to shut down because I still have to take this one out who takes 20 minutes to go pee because he loves the snow so much. He never just wants to go out and do his business and come back. He's got to play for 20 minutes before he does anything else. So,
All right, well, thanks for having me up.
well, thanks for coming up.
Take care, Tasha.
No, you're welcome.
You too, Wayne. Have a good night.
You too. Good night.
Yep. Thanks very
Okay.
much. I'll jump in next time I'm free and I see you're on. I'll come and say hi.
All right, sounds good. Have a good night.
Okay.
Good day.
Bye. You too. Yep. G'day, mate. That's the one.
All right, guys, I'm gonna shut it down. Again, Merry Christmas. Hope everybody had a blessed day. I know I did. I enjoy spending time with my family. God bless. Much love to all of you. Thank all of you for your support. I greatly appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one.